internet, and welcome back to the live stream. It is Saturday, the 28th of September, 2019. Today I will be live for 70 minutes, 70. You know what that means, folks? It's a 10th stream, the Big 10-0, and that means opening of Jack and AMA, Ask Me Anything. I love these 10 streams. It's like we've been through all of the preliminary streams, the conversations, the chit chats, the ideas, the topics of conversation, and then we hit upon a 10th stream, which is more relaxing, more chilling, a bit more fun, a bit more open, a bit more carefree, if you like. I do want to acknowledge the chit chat first before we go any further. I'm hoping my chat works on screen today. I've done a little tweaking. It might be my CSS which is causing issues, but we'll see. I want to say hello to Tim Arskog. The very first thing in the chat he said was, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but can you please tell me if this is the right place for an argument? Now, what Tim's alluding to there was yesterday on the D Live, there was some crap that went down during the stream or before the stream, but we don't need to dig into that here on the YouTube, right? We can leave that where it was. We've already dealt with it. The point of this stream is not to dig into that, but Tim, I'll give you a cheers for that, dude. For swinging that one in the first thing on the chit chat. You crazy man. And then I said hello to the internet, and Benny said good morning. Benny's up in the chat early too. Nice to see Benny there with Tim and me. In fact, it's just been the three of us chit-chatting, so we'll get through these conversations here, just asking how I was. Yeah, I love these 10 streams. It's the best time to stream. How's the surf? Been pretty flat and small. Although today we're hearing a 2.8 meter swell coming through. When that's going to happen, I don't know, because I looked out there this morning and it does not look big. It looks kind of small. A southerly swell too, so that's cold, cold, cold water. And now winter arrives. I know, right? It's kind of crazy. My goodness, wow! Benny with a donation of the ice cream there. Wrong platform. I don't want to ruin my larynx. That's the thing we do on the D Live. And as far as the D Live goes, today's stream later on, I may have Marty here with me. Marty and Stacey are down right now. They're still asleep in bed, but we stayed up last night, we had this schnapps, a chili schnapps. And I gotta say, my throat's a little kind of, what's the word? My throat feels a little bit constricted, maybe from that chili last night. Chili in a schnapps was very strange. They're still sleeping, so I'm gonna keep my voice down. My goodness! No, I'm not. Benny Crawford, cool. Tim says good morning, Benny. So Tim had to duck out, get down to the shops, get some coffee. Benny Crawford's got coffee and wine. Benny Crawford, a wine at this hour? I mean, I'm going to have a liqueur, but that's just because of the stream. I wouldn't encourage morning drinking, but then again, it may not be morning wherever you're watching, but it is for me. So I don't know if I'd encourage morning beverages, but there you go. I'm going to do it. And I've done it before on the stream. It's an interesting flavor, so interesting that the Vietnamese won't drink it. This is what Tim's saying in the chit chat. It's a bit annoying. I used to be leaning my iPad on the kitchen windowsill, and I can wash the dishes while watching, and now the laptop is too big. So did you get a bigger laptop and the phone is too small, Tim? Or are you just saying that it doesn't fit there? I suggested a GorillaPod. This is what I use, folks. When it comes time to laying my iPad somewhere, I use this and just pop that out on the old Legapoos. iPad goes in there and you're good to go. And also, you can turn it around on its angel like this way. So then you can vertically mount it if you want to watch the chat or whatever it is. But yeah, pretty rad. This is called a Joby GorillaPod. This is called a Joby... What is this called? A Joby GorillaPod. What is this called? It's right here. The GorillaPod Pro tablet. This is the one that... Mr. Chambers won about 2 years ago on my channel and never claimed it. So it's still sitting in this box. And that's the one I use. So looking further down the chat, the iPad screen is waterproof, which is good. Laptop isn't. Not sure whether to fix the old iPad or get a new one. Rather spend a few $1,000s on a gold detector. Gold detecting, yeah. And then I asked the question, does anybody know anyone who's fully submerged a waterproof or water-resistant iPhone? I know that they are waterproof, but I don't know anyone that's dunked theirs, like, dunk it in a glass water or in a pool or something. I don't think I'd be too keen to do that, Like, I know that they've made them so that they are water-resistant, but would you actually do that? I don't know. I would feel a bit dubious. Tim had to leave. He had to go and get some dishes done. No worries. And then scrolling down the chit chat even further. Oh shit, there's been a lot of action in the chat. Sorry folks, I'm going to get to your mornings and say hello to you all. There you go. Benny Crawford, good morning Benon. G'day Benny. Tim says yes, it's working okay. Not sure what he's talking about. Jamie Walker, hello Benon. I'm in the Gold Coast airport waiting to fly to Thailand. Well Jamie, have a safe flight man, and thanks for watching a bit of the stream. I hope you board on time and I hope you enjoy Thailand. Thailand? Did I say Thailand? I meant Thailand, but have fun over there, man. Nice to see you. And by the way, that's a cheers for swinging by the Gives a Minute YouTube stream chit chat. Adrian Banks, morning all. Got to get the Jco out in preparation for Monday. Adrian Banks is on his way down here to Culburra Beach, and if you do watch my D Live, he'll be here with me on Tuesday. Now, what's D Live? Well, funny you should ask. In the chat, I've put a link to my Gives a Minute D Live channel. If you want to watch that content, you've got to go over there, and I think you've got to sign up, or you can watch without signing up. But that's the channel in the chat. Did I put that there? I think I did. Yeah, there you go. No, there it is. So that's all good if you want to partake in the D Live. I do daily streams there, and it's kind of a little bit more loose, a little bit more loosey magoose. Last night was a really fun one. If you want to watch a replay, go and watch that one from the start. The first hour of that stream last night. Holy crap. We dealt with some garbage, but I think we dealt with it and we did what we needed to do. Tim says, I'm not alluding to D-Live. Don't watch it. It's a Monty Python sketch reference. I'm always going to allude to D-Live. I'm always going to pump the D-Live. It's so cool over there. This week on D-Live was amazing. It was the 1 year anniversary of D-Live moving to the Lino blockchain.
Steak?
Money's too tight for steak.
Charlotte Rose.
Steak money.
Steak money. Money's too tight for steak. Charlotte Rose, thanks for the 15 big ones. Shyla, muchas gracias. This is what I would do on the D-Live. I'd say, Shyla Rose. And I guess we can do that here as well. Shyla, thank you so much. You're a big supporter of mine. I appreciate you. Love having you here. Enjoy your company. Enjoy the chats. Enjoy the flirt sometimes. Enjoy the fun. Thank you very much for the donations. Appreciate it. I know you were there in the chat last night during that crap on the D-Live. I appreciate you being there. Looking up the chat. Hi, Jamie. Everyone's saying hi to Jamie. It's going to sound like a great trip. I was in Thailand in 78, says Tim. Charlotte says, opening the Jack. Hell yeah. You know how much I love my Jack. I've never had this one. Has anybody had this in the chat before? This is Winter Jack, not available in Australia. Why, how have you got one then? I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, right there, dudes. Unbelievable. I'm really, really looking forward to this. And there's a little twist with this one too. The Wandering Ranger TV. Hello, mate. It's 5 o'clock here. 5 a.m. for Wandering Ranger TV. Also from D-Live. Thanks, Wandering Ranger. Thanks for swinging by. Benny Crawford. Hi, Charlotte. Morning, Tim. Everyone saying hello. Wandering Ranger says in the PM. 5 o'clock PM. Okay, gotcha. That's a pretty good time then. Nothing too strange or hectic about that. Steve Dalsey, also over from the D-Live. Steve Dalsey, good to see you, man. How do you do? Good to have you here. Speaking about angels, how are you today, Charlotte? Look at that. There you go. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love this love in the chit-chat. Oh, Tim, being a gentleman, I'm good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, see, this is love. This is love. Charlotte Rose with the 3 kisses. The Wandering Ranger TV, have you gone on that date with Charlotte yet? No, Wandering Ranger. What are you, little Cupid, little matchmaker there in the chit-chat? Nice one, Wandering Ranger. Jet Setter's in the house. G'day, Jet Setter. How do you do? Hope all is well. Hi, Travel. Everyone's saying hi. Now, folks, if I do this, are we going to have an on-screen chat that does refresh? I hope so. I very much hope so. I've made a couple of small changes to the chit-chat, and maybe, fingers crossed, we might have a refreshing chat. Now, the Wandering Ranger says, I get off work in 20 minutes. Okay, that's the last thing that's been said in the chat. If the next thing that says in the chat refreshes, then we are good to go. I hope. I'm I'm praying that this works, let me tell you. It has worked. Tim put a comment, Shiloh regards me being a gentleman. Stranger things have happened, lol. And that is in the on-screen chat. Mind you, don't get too carried away. We've seen this kind of thing start working on the big screen here and then not following suit here on this screen. So I don't want to get too excited by this just yet. Although, my fingers crossed, my freaking toe is crossed. And I'm hoping I'm hoping I don't spit all over my microphone. I just hocked up a huge one right there. Folks, I would like also on this stream, this is going to be a 2-part stream, folded into one if you like, all of them molding together. We're going to have the opening of the Jack. We're going to have an AMA, Ask Me Anything. So I've already put the call out on the daily vlog, which, by the way, began again last night.
Steak?
Money's too tight for steak.
Steak?
Toward future Jack.
Benny Crawford with $10 for the steak money towards future Jack. Thank you, Benny. I really appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. And that money will go towards another bottle here. Like I said, every 10 streams, there'll be a fresh bottle of Jack Daniels, and it will always be a bottle that's never appeared before. So think about that. I've got to hunt down exclusive bottles. I'm never going to repeat. You're never going to see another Tennessee Fire 700 mils. You're never going to see another Tennessee Honey 700 mils. You hear what I'm saying? The same bottle is never going to repeat. And let me tell you, there is plenty on the market from Jack Daniels and plenty in the back market to look for. So that $10 and that 15 from Shiloh, absolutely will go towards that fund. I've got a couple in the backlog that I've already purchased because this idea came to me ages ago, and a few of them were on the market while I was still hunting, and I grabbed them and I've stored them. So we're good for a little while, but there are some that got my eye on, and I really, really appreciate it. In fact, on the D Live, did I mention I've got a D Live channel? I put the little linky poo in the chat. On the D Live, I've got the Jack Behind Me fund, and what that is literally a place where you can go through Streamlabs and make a tip donation to that fund, which it's the same thing. The money here is obviously going to go there as well, and the money there is going to go here. It's all the same, right? We're streaming on YouTube and DLive. And like I said, I'm never going to forego the YouTube for the DLive. I'm never going to forego the DLive for the YouTube. They both coexist and coincide together. There are certain things that we can do on the DLive, and there are certain things that we cannot do on the YouTube, and therefore both of these work together like little yin and yang, and the P and the pod, the up and the down, the right and the wrong, the in and the out. Love it. Thank you for that donation. I saw a humongous bottle of JD and Dan Murphy's the other night, $122. Jeez, what size was it? 122. That'd be a 1.75er. Jet Setter says, I'm just getting ready to go to Los Angeles for a few days on Tuesday before I go to Miami Beach to do my internship for the next 5 weeks. Dude, well, congrats on that internship. And I hope you have a great time in LA. Enjoy that warm weather sunshine. So what I was going to say about the AMA, I've already taken questions throughout the week. If you haven't already asked your question and you want to ask it live in the chat, put it in the chat, but then don't forget that if I don't get to it, like maybe copy it to your clipboard and then paste it again later on. We're going to be here for 70 minutes, so 1 hour and 10 minutes in total. Excuse me. If we don't get to your comment, somehow I've missed it in the chat, like I often miss things, refresh it, like repeat it in the chat, and we'll get to those questions. But you can ask me freaking anything. I do not care what you ask. Oh, man. I do not care what you ask me, and I will try to answer it I'll try to answer it the most succinct way and the most I'll try to answer it in the most full context. Like if you say, what kind of Ugg boots do you like? I'd get one off my foot and say, I really like this Ugg boot, except that there is a hole bursting through here. But that could be my own mistake because I bought the wrong size and I've worn them for 2 seasons and I haven't washed them and my toe's freaking pointing out. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you the full answer. I won't just say, I like the brown ones. Next question. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you the time. If you've taken the time to give me the question, I'll freaking well give you the time to give the answer. That's the plan. So in the chat, if you want to ask, and we will take questions willy-nilly. So I'm going to open this Jack. relax, go through the pre-asked questions, and then maybe that'll spur a conversation. But if you want to ever pop anything in, if you want to make a question as part of the AMA, maybe just put the letters AMA in front of it, and I'll know by looking in the chat AMA is going to be an Ask Me Anything question. But then again, anything with a question mark's a question. You see how this is a work in progress, and this is a two-way street. We're both givers. You know, you're giving me the time to work this out. I'm giving you the time. You guys give me a lot of time. Let's be clear. Last week's stream here, an absolute schmozzle, a fiasco, a nightmare, and you gave me that time to be patient, come back and see if I could reboot and restart and get it together. So I've got to thank you for that amount of patience from the givers. You know, the two-way street here is very clearly, it's coming from you guys. Sometimes it's coming from me sometimes.
Steak?
Money's too tight for steak.
Steak?
Save the JD fund.
Adrian Banks with the Save the Jack fund. I love it, Adrian, with the $8. Thank you, man. Dude, appreciate you, man. Adrian Banks, like I said, folks, he'll be sitting here next to me on Tuesday on the D Live. Also, Tuesday, holy shit, I'm so stoked for this. Tuesday, the 1st of October, first day of a Waiver Day Spring Edition. Back to the short sleeve wetsuit. Spring Edition, water is still a little chilly, but the outside temperature is good. The waves should be good. Spring surfing in Australia, I've never done it. I am super pumped for every day a Waiver Day right here on Culburra Beach. And I've got to tell you, that will be the conclusion. And when I say conclusion, I want to make that very clear. That will be a conclusion of a Waiver Day. I'll leave you hanging with that. That'll be a conclusion of a Waiver Day. I've got other plans, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that means I've done, if you don't include the time when I faffed up my elbow and had to stop, that was the first season. And then I came back midway through the next part of summer. And then I took the whole year and started summer again. If you don't include all that summer crap, include the first summer. I've done summer, autumn, fall. I've done summer, fall, winter, and now I'm doing spring. That'll be all the seasons done here. And then I've got another plan, but I'm going to wait and see if we can pull this off. In the chat, are you going to do a Q&A sesh over on D-Live as well? Charlotte Rose, yes, good question. I will definitely do this. Yeah, of course. Not of course, but yes, I will. Because what happens is the content from here rolls over on the same day. The only issue I've got today is that I do have guests here. I've got Marty and Stacey hanging out with me for the weekend. So I want to be cautious that I want to give those guys the time that they deserve for being here. I don't want to take up, I mean, they came to see me. But that's the other thing. When I have guests here, I feel like, you know what? You didn't just come to see me because I'm not that great, but you came to see the ocean. And so I said to Stacey, you know, you can take a walk, you can go into town, go to the markets, and Marty and I will sit back. And Marty brought a bottle of Gosling's rum. We're going to have some dark and stormies. He makes a killer dark and stormy. So we'll sit here and booze up, and Stacey can do what she does, you know. There is one near Sydney, and I'd love to go, and one in Melbourne's more often. Oh, Charlotte Rose, have you looked at Costco, Ben, on for Jack Daniels? They carry a wide range from American stuff. I haven't seen that, Charlotte Rose. You know what? I know Costco is an American one. And Adrian said, yeah, the 175 litre. Yeah, okay. That's aside from the 3 litre, there is a 3 litre bottle you can get, but that is the most largest commercially available bottle of Jack's in Australia. Adrian Banks will be serenading you on the beach. Nice. Are you going to come through when I'm doing the Waiver Day? That's awesome, because I'll be out there. Shit. I'll be out there. You should look for this on the beach with the iPad. I'll be there from about, I'd say 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. Actually, I've got to confirm that what the waves are doing, but usually I'm ready to go by 8ish. And then later on in the afternoon, Adrian will be here. Last week was a miracle, teaching impulsive German to be patient. Is that me, the impulsive German? I get called the determined German, but I haven't had impulsive before. Travel Jet said I'm going to do content on Venice Beach and maybe from LAX airport. Okay, cool. Lidcombe, Kazula and Marsden Park Costco locations in New Zealand. Maybe do a real live stream. Check out Costco's for American. Yeah, I mean, I'll check their websites first and see what they got. But Shyla, dude, that is a good tip. I know it's an American store, but I didn't think. I mean, they'd still have to have the ones that the Australian market gets. They wouldn't be able to nab anything else. I don't know. I'll check it out. Good tip, Charlotte Rose. Good tip. I'm going to give you another cheers for that. Tim Arskog, it'd be funny to serenade Benon while he's out surfing, maybe with a Mexican mariachi band. If you can get a Mexican mariachi band, Go and get the Bronx, El Mariacho band, when the Bronx do that. Go and get those guys. Michael, good morning. A little late, but I was having my own technical issues. Dude, I know that feeling. I can feel for you, man. Appreciate having you here, Michael. Adrian Banks. Happy Canadian in the stream. Hello, everyone in the stream. Happy Canadian. Good to have you back, man. I love it. The chat is working. This is perfect. Folks, let us open the Jack. Far out. I want to give you all the hellos and all the genuine correspondence you all deserve, but I also want to open that freaking bottle, right? It's been sitting here for 10 weeks, folks. Whoops. Could you imagine if I dropped it? Shit. Folks, this here is Jack Daniel's Winter Jack. Now, what is Winter Jack? It is a Tennessee cider that won't get a focus here for the GH5 saving its life. You can see it there on the graphic illustration anyway, but look at this GH5's really struggling to grab that, isn't it? I want to show you the freaking... There you go. That's as far as we're going to get. So you got the graphic there anyway. So this is a Tennessee cider. It's seasonally available in the States and Canada. Now, I've got to say, the graphic here says available USA and Canada only. There was a time, I believe it was 2014, when they did release this limited run style in Australia, and this bottle is from that run. So the current bottle, if you are watching from America or Canada, the current bottle, which by the way is almost wrapped up in terms of the seasonality of it, that current bottle looks a little different to this one. This is the 2000, it's either 2014 or 2015. Let me be clear. This one was released in the States, but also got a limited release here in Australia. So this is an older style of this Winter Jack. The newer bottle is a taller, thinner bottle with a full, not the black graphic here. It's a full white graphic. This isn't the bottle color. This is like a sticker that wraps around the bottle, like a shrink wrap sticker, if you like. But the deal here is this is, like I said, it's a seasonal thing. It's a seasonal blend of apple cider. And by the way, Jack Daniels have just released Apple Jack, only in America. That goes along with the Tennessee Fire and the Tennessee Honey. There's Tennessee Apple now. Holy shit, balls, yeah! When we'll see that in Australia? Never. This is a seasonal blend of apple cider with Old Number 7, which has got that genuine sweet oaky flavor you see there in the graphic. And it's got spices such as cinnamon, some nutmeg in there, I believe, and it's a traditional family recipe passed down by the generations in Tennessee, in Lynchburg. That means nothing if you don't live in Tennessee or Lynchburg or in Lynchburg, Tennessee, but it's just nice to know that this was a traditional family recipe, and if you wanted to hunt down how long this has been made in the Jack Daniels family, if you like, you could go and find that out. They say that there's hints of orange peel, cinnamon, and clove in here. Now, that's going to tell me it's got a very European-y, Christmassy, warm, fun, around the Christmas tree sort of style. And by the way, this particular flavor of Jack came out after this first came out in the German market, not as Winter Jack, as something slightly different. I think it was a Winter Ginger Jack, and it went off like a rocket in Germany because they love their Glühwein and they love their mulled wines and their schnapps. And this product, not this one, but the one that came out, this is back in 2012 or something, that one was like a test, if you like. And then they brought it out to the American market as Winter Jack, not as the Winter Ginger Jack or whatever it was called. So this is its own thing. It's, as you see there, they say apple pie meets Tennessee whiskey. Now, apple pie, that's a thing that not huge in Australia. Like, we love our apple pies, but I know the American thing is like, Mama's got an apple pie cooling on the windowsill, and everyone smells it throughout the neighborhood. Could you imagine sitting next to that apple pie cooling on the windowsill? There's a bottle of Winter Jack, and outside there's like snow falling down, and that's the deal here. And it even says it on the artwork here. It says made with original Jack Daniel's Old Number 7. That's the sweet oaky flavor. Jack Daniel's seasonal Tennessee cider. So the cider they make is not even full year round. It's just seasonal. Get this, folks. Now, this is going to throw a small spanner in the works. Best served warm when it's cold. Best served warm, right? So if I'm gonna have this, there is no way I'm gonna just open this up and like pour it into a glass. I've got to heat this sucker up, right? So with that being said, what I'd like to do here is go and pour myself. First of all, we'll open it. And by the way, I want to show you this. And I always have two of each of whatever we open here on the stream. I always have two, right? Just so that I can, like, I want to open one, explain it, taste it, enjoy it, but then I want to keep one for my own sake. I was going to say sanity, but my own sake. But what I'm actually doing with this stuff, and you might think this is a bit stupid, but I'm kind of thinking of it as like, you know, when people die and they give their investments away. I'm thinking that these bottles will go to Baxter and Claudia when they become of age, right? Like maybe I won't live past 60, but I'll put in my will. My whiskey collection is going to be going to Baxter and Claudia. Now, if they choose to drink it on their 21st birthday, or if they choose to sell it for whatever it's worth later on, whatever. But it's like their inheritance fund, because like, I mean, I got my computer gear as well. I got to put into my will and say, look, you guys can have that. But I think that if someone passed away, like when my father passed away in 2001, if he had said, by the way, we've got a crate of whiskey that we kept from Germany when I came out to Australia, I'd be like, what? So that's what I'm doing with this. And it's not, so in the Jack fund, the Jack Behind Me fund on DLive, I've got the price for this, or for the next one I'm looking at, 99 Australian dollars. If you include all the PayPal fees and everything, I put it to 130. Now that's just to get one bottle. I'm going to pay for the other one that goes in the investment. So I just want to explain why I've got two. And also this one came with a little tag. And by the way, how did I get these in Australia if they're a US only release? I bought them from a collector for an exorbitant amount of money. I bought these for $80 each, including postage, which was 110. So I spent about 160. I spent just under $200 to get these to my house, which is absurd because they retailed for $19.95 in the US a bottle. So that's what I do, folks. I did this for the stream. So with that being said, oh, by the way, 15% alcohol, so not a very strong drink, not one that you're going to roll around on the floor upside down and doing cartwheels and handstands. Just a nice mellow, and a smooth, mellow evening. Now let's go back into the chat and see what I've missed here. Happy Canadian says, what's going on, Gizmin? Nice to see you back. Adrian Banks, cheers. Hello, everyone in the stream. Wandering Ranger, just watched your last D-Live stream. I thought that crap with Hara was past. Me too, Wandering Ranger. Absolutely. So did I think that. What about the Bronx? Been on Get the Bronx Mexican band. That's what I was saying, Jet Setter. The Bronx have two bands. They dress up as Mexican mariachi and they call themselves the El Mariacho El Bronxo or something. I've photographed them. They're great. By the way, how's this for, and I know this is a small tangent here, but how's this for a tangent? Forget the Jack for the time being. I've got a branded content deal coming up on YouTube for a product that's going to save lives if you need it when you're surfing. I won't blow the steam what it is, but it's a company called Rest Tube, and it's a little inflatable that you pull when you're under the water, and it shoots up with a buoyancy vest and floats you to the surface. Now, I'm talking to this guy in Minnesota, actually, where I think Mindy's from Minnesota. Talking to him about this, and he said, oh, you know, I've seen a bit of your channel, this and that. I know you're a skateboarder, yeah. And he's just mentioned, just casually mentioned his brother is close friends with Matt Hensley, who is, it's a very loose connection here, but Matt Hensley was a pro skateboarder when I was growing up, like a street skater. He used to ride for H Street, the team, and I had posters of him on my wall. And idolized him, I guess, if you like, because he was a ripping skater. Now, that's not all that unusual for someone in America to know someone who was a skateboarder, right? That's not unusual. But the unusual thing about it is that Matt Hensley, after he finished his skateboarding career, oddly enough, he went into a snooker career, became a professional snooker player, and then, for some weird reason, he picked up an accordion and started playing accordion, and he plays in Flogging Molly, which is a band that I've photographed, and I love the band, and we've had them on the Cap game numerous times. And when this contact with this branded content deal starts talking, oh, my brother's got this friend, Matt Hensley, is a professional, ex-professional skateboarder, I was like, just the way these connections fold together, right? So crazy. Now, I could waffle about that forever, or what I would love to do, and this is why I brought up music right then, I go to Tim says, you pull it and it deflates? Who would have thought? The Wandering Ranger, I met Tony Hawk. Yeah, I've met Mr. Hawk. Said a couple of words to him. Seems like a nice guy. Photographed him. Paula Edber, I once banged a Kiwi called Summer. Happy memories. Folks, that's Paula. That's a female in the audience. Australian, lives in Germany. Using the terms, I once banged a Kiwi. Appreciate those terms. So, folks, what I want to do, and this is how we're going to allude to music. Let's open this up now, and in the time, I want to put this into a glass, and then go and heat it up. And whilst that's heating, I'm going to let you guys choose some tunes, and then we're going to get into AMA when I come back with this drink. If I can. Wow, do you need a science degree to open this thing? Shit. Then this is. I guess this has been sealed since 2015, so shit, I can't quite get that, folks. Oh well, stream's over. See you later. No. Who are the Bronx Mexican band? Who are the Bronx? So the band The Bronx, it's a hard rock band called The Bronx. When they want to play a different style of music, Jet Setter, they dress up as Mexicans, and they have a band, exactly the same members. They call themselves the El Mariocho El Bronxo, or something like that. And they often tour on the same bill as the Bronx, so they double up, basically. I've shot them a bunch of times. In fact, the very last Tracer show with Lee, the original bass player, was at a festival in the Netherlands called Ross Rock Festival, and the Bronx were headliners on that bill, and we all hung out together and got to meet the band. They're lovely, lovely guys. Frontman in that band is awesome. If you ever want to see an enthusiastic, shorter, short man running around with a great deal of passion, go and see the Bronx. I'm not so much the Mariachi El Bronxo, but the Bronx, and watch that front man. Holy shit. And I was saying to him, dude, I'd seen them before we met them at this festival, but I said, dude, you are a great front man to photograph and to watch. Oh, you know why this isn't coming off? It was stuck on the bottle. They're normally not, there you go. They're normally not stuck like that. They're normally just like a little sliver. Shit, this one is really not coming off, man. I feel like I should cut this with a knife. Why does knife have a K in front of it? Makes no sense. A knife? It would still say knife without a K. Hey, Queen, you've got a few things to answer for. The Queen? Shit, this is really sucking, folks. Great content, Gives a Minute. Spent half an hour trying to open a freaking plastic bottle. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Wait a sec. I'll twist it. There you go. I'll twist it and then I can... It was just this plastic around the lid that was giving me the grief. It's all stuck down, right? So now that I've got that off, so at least we can sniff to this. Oh my goodness. Mein Gott in Himmel. Wow. That is absolutely... You know what this reminds me of? Far out, you're going to hate this. This reminds me of young love. First encounters with a girl in a backyard party, drinking some cheap lollipops water. Just reminds me of the smell of like a nightclub with the smoke flowing out and like heaps of like cheap makeup. And you know what I'm going to do though? I got to heat this sucker up. Got myself a glass here. I'm going to go and I'm going to pour this in here. Now this is going to be the amount. This is going to be the amount that I drink on the stream, but I'm going to heat it up. So what I would like to do, I'm going to pop that back here. Speaking of music, and this is how we tied this into the music thing with the El Mariacho Bronxo and the Flogging Molly, and also myself with music, is I've got a band that we used to kick around with just as fans. Like this connection is kind of loose. It's not like I don't know the band, but we kind of knew them, sort of, if you like, just from watching them. They're called Vicious Harry Mary, and this is how we interacted with them, how we knew them, and this is them covering the Simpsons theme song. While this rolls, I'm going to heat this sucker up, come back, taste it with you guys, and then we're going to do the AMA as well. Yeah. Welcome back to the slightly random daily song. This connection to this band is extremely loose. It's not even a connection really, except to say that back in the early 90s, myself and my friends, mainly my cousin, used to go and watch this band perform live. Vicious Harry Mary. Now, strange name for an outfit. I believe they were a three-piece. My memory isn't the greatest. Sometimes they played as four-piece. Sometimes they had a five-piece, but I think the core members of this group were a three-piece. Out of Sydney, Vicious Harry Mary. Even more of a loose connection to why I want to play you a track off this is because this EP is called Copy Camel. Now what that means is it's actually a covers EP. All the tracks here are cover songs. The one I want to run for you is the Simpsons theme, right? They did a cover of The Simpsons. The Simpsons was kicking around right in the early 90s. That was when it was reaching its heyday. And so Vicious Harry Mary covered the theme song in their own kind of fashion, right? A bass-orientated track. It's pretty cool. But let's have a quick look at the EP first. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna sit down here. I wanna show you a little bit about the EP before we get to the track. Pop you guys in between my legses. Hello. Is that gonna stay there? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put you down over here already. Put you down like this, right? Yeah, okay. So the EP, it looks like vinyl. Look, see the artwork there looks like a vinyl record. You've got the back cover here. I'll read you the tracks that they did cover. Tomfoolery, they covered the Get Smart theme, Little Spanish Flea, Johnny Be Good, the Rocky and Bullwinkle theme, the Simpsons theme, I Am the Walrus from the Beatles. I was almost going to play you that one. I went for the Simpsons instead. Rax Layla, I'm not sure what that was, and Peanut Butter. There's the back artwork there. Now one thing I also want to show you is when you take out the disc, there's a little underlay track there, which I really appreciate when artists do this. So I'm gonna take the little CD tray out and show you what that artwork is. I can't recall what it is myself. It's been that many years since I've looked at this. Oh shit. Okay, nothing really that amazing. But you just gotta give props to crew that did the artwork on these discs when you knew you weren't even gonna be seeing it, right? So this was recorded at Troy Horse Studios in Sydney, in Newtown, 1994, in a sleeve artwork. Very Residence-esque. The back there, look at lots of homers with skulls. Pretty cool stuff. Now, can you see the ocean? Let me just have a look and make sure that vision is good for you. Oh, you got a good view there, haven't you? Let me just make sure. Yeah, that looks good for the ocean size. All right, folks, well, whilst you're enjoying watching the ocean, enjoy listening to Vicious Harry Mary out of Sydney in 1994 with their version of The Simpsons opening theme.
What did you think? Did that take you on a trip down memory lane for The Simpsons? Vicious Hairy Mary out of Sydney, Australia, Copy Camel. Now, I've got to remind you that this is a band that I didn't really have any connection with, aside from seeing them live a bunch of times. We used to catch these guys at the Caringbah Bizzos, at the Royal in Southo, potentially other venues which I can't recall. But yeah, no real connection to the band except that we were fans, and I'm pretty certain this band no longer exists. I'm definitely certain you cannot pick this EP up anywhere. They had a full-length record called Black Bugs, Blood or something, almost like a tongue twister. But I wanted to play you something off this EP. That track, The Simpsons, the cover, the opening theme, they did play that live a lot, and it was a lot of fun. All their shows were lots of fun. I can hardly remember any of it. My memory's so bad, but the music lives on, and I'm glad I'm able to share that with you here right now. Now look, while I sit down and try to remember other gigs from Vicious Hairy Mary back in the early 90s, you guys can go back to the live stream.
You caught me. You caught me kissing the bottle of Jack. I was actually just looking at this label, this plastic again, thinking how difficult that was to get off, and I haven't even got it off yet. And then I saw the chit chat. Who asked it? Michael said, "What temperature is it meant to be served?" And I just had a quick look on that little extra tag, and it just says, "Winter Jack is best enjoyed warm when it's cold," and it literally says, "Heat to your preferred temperature to enjoy the full flavor experience." Now, I also see Charlotte said put a cinnamon stick in it. I would if I had a cinnamon stick, which I do not have a cinnamon stick, so I can't, but I would have. If I did have one, I would definitely do that, because there's a graphic there that I saw on the Jack Daniel's website which had a cinnamon stick and an orange rind in the bottom. Now, I haven't got that, but what I did do, and this is a bit, I was trying to be careful about this, I didn't want to heat this up to boiling point, because at that point you're boiling away the alcohol. So I heated it up once and I gave it a stir with a spoon, and then I heated it up again 30 seconds in the microwave, and it's at that point where it's just warm enough to hold long enough to get the warmth. By the way, folks, if you are here watching this Jack Daniel's opening and you're wondering what's going on the Gives a Minute D-Lives, on the Gives a Minute YouTube stream, every 10 weeks here on this channel, we open a special bottle of Jack. Now, if that's the content that you're literally here for, in the chat right now, I am posting time-stamped links where if you click these links, it literally goes to the times that we've opened previous bottles of Jacks. Now, you know, on YouTube, if there was a video saying opening of 1907 opening and tasting, and you'd click that, you'd see the video. But as a live stream, this is a long format live stream, it's somewhere in that package of live where we did it. So that's why I put these little timestamp links that are going in right now. Every one we've done so far is in there if you want to go back and look at them. At this point, though, I do want to enjoy the taste of this, and then we'll get into AMA. So, hey, folks, cheers for 70 streams on YouTube. Cheers for being here with me the whole way. We began with 1 minute. We moved all the way through to 70-minute streams, and we're on our way up from there. Winter Jack. Wow, in Australia. Here we go. Oh, it's really, really, really hot. Wow. Faffy Day in the chit chat. Faffy Day, how do you do? I'm sorry, folks. That actually burnt my tongue. It's that freaking hot. Let me just cool it down a little. Okay, I made it too hot. Dang. Okay, but the flavoring. What can I taste here aside from freaking heat? Well, I like it. I wouldn't say I love it. It's definitely got that mulled wine kind of feeling to it, like I'm holding a warm glass of alcohol. I'm not walking through the Kopfstein streets of like Slovenia or Croatia or Germany at the moment, but I am holding a warm glass of sweet smelling liqueur. It is good. And you definitely get that Jack Daniel's Old Number 7, what I call regulation Old Number 7, right in there. Very tasty. Yeah, it sort of hangs around for a bit too, that flavor. Oh yeah, I'm liking it. I feel like it might even go well cool, like regular, like room temperature with a heaven forbid, with a cola mix. I don't know. Let's get into the AMA, folks, while I'm feeling a little toasty. How do you feel about that when I'm on the toasty side? It'll help to answer questions, help to open up the chat. If you do have a Q&A AMA style, ask me anything style question you want to hit, please hit it in the chat. You're welcome to do that right now. Let us have a look at the first question, which we did get throughout the week. We got this one from Xander Round. He says, my question, what motivates you to create daily content so consistently? Two-part question. And do you see yourself still doing this in 10 years? Okay, we'll hit the first part. What motivates me? As far as daily content, like my daily vlog and the daily D-Live streams, the reason I do it is because, well, separate for the D-Live, but with YouTube, with the daily vlog, the reason I do that is because two reasons. I've never really kept a diary, and I feel like doing it on YouTube is a way to not only keep a diary, but have the diary almost like you can take the diary out of my drawer whenever you damn well please, and you can read it. It's like people write in their diary and then they lock it away and it's hidden forever. But I love the idea of an open diary. So because I never really kept the diary as a kid, maybe I started one for a period and then I forgot about it. But you know what I mean? Like now I can keep a diary, and it's almost like having it on YouTube keeps me accountable in a way. Like I've got to do it. As far as the D-Live content, the streams every day, I think that I do that because I love the interaction with the crew, like with you, with the givers. That one-on-one interaction, we get that here once a week on the YouTube, but on D-Live we get that daily, and that's what I love about it. Do you see yourself still doing this in 10 years' time? That's a good question, because when I began my channel, I said I'm going to do this for 10 years. I began my channel on my 40th birthday. Now, you know me in numbers, that was all planned. I opened the channel on YouTube early August, but I uploaded my first video on the 28th of August 2015, which was the day before my 40th birthday. And my plan, and I always said this, I'm going to do this for 10 years. And then I'm going to reevaluate when I turn 50. Do I want to be 50 years of age creating YouTube content? That was always my plan. That's still my plan. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But great question, Xander. In the chat, Adrian Banks, what's your ultimate goal with your vlogs? Very good question. Ultimate goal would be, and it ties into this, will you still do this in 10 years? Ultimate goal would be to have content on YouTube that is going to earn me a ad source revenue, a long-term constant flow of income. Now, you might say that may not happen, dude. You can't put your eggs in one basket. And I guess I'm not putting them in one basket, but I'm saying, wouldn't it be rad if I could have a video that keeps earning me a residual income without having to do anything? I've done the work 10 years ago and I'm still getting, it's like a band releasing a record. They still get a royalty from it whenever it gets sold or played or whatever. That's the idea behind doing YouTube content. And that would be one of the ultimate goals, not the only goal. The overriding goal is to build a community and have the givers and have this interaction, but that would definitely be a side goal, if you like. Caleb Wheeler, the question says, my question is whether or not you'd ever consider playing video games on either D-Live or YouTube. Thanks for the content, by the way. Keep it up. Dude, that is a terrific question. And I've actually said this from the very beginning when I began live here on YouTube. Yes, I definitely will be doing gaming on both D-Live and YouTube. Now, I am waiting for Stadia. Google Stadia is a way that I can play games without having to have an expensive PC for gaming. I can do it on my browser in Chrome. I'm going to buy the little handheld control. But yes, that's definitely content that's going to come here to the YouTube and to the D-Live. I'm not sure how I'm going to roll it together because I don't know where I'll prioritize one or the other. But at this point, both YouTube and D-Live will get gaming content from me. I'm going to get a green screen. I'm going to do all the right things. I've been watching PewDiePie and learning what not to do. That guy's terrible. In terms of streaming, he's got a very, very poor stream, I got to say. I don't understand how come he is. And I just mean his gaming streams. The gaming streams that he does, they're tedious. He doesn't engage. He looks down here. He doesn't even look up at his camera. He looks here the whole time. He never engages the chat. He has no on-screen notifications, and he just plays the game. And look, it's really, really bad. Adrian Banks says, I'd love to see you on a Sunday morning show doing this. You mean a Saturday morning show? That's what this is, but do you mean it's a television show? I mean, look, we've seen Viva Fry transfer to television. My ultimate goal is to provide something that's separate to television. I think YouTube and the internet's got one up on television by a long shot. But I mean, look, if the right contract was presented and whatnot, I would have to evaluate. But at this stage, I'm loving YouTube more than ever, and the online presence, including DLive. Tim Arskog says, "Can we really ask you anything?" Yes, that's an AMA. Literally stands for Ask Me Anything. And was that your only question, Tim? I'll pay that. Michael says, "You have a number of self-imposed rules. What is one rule that you've not been able to keep?" That is a very good question. This is tasty. I gotta say, the one rule that I've killed myself with not being able to keep would be on the daily vlog. It's never an edit. I never do any editing, but there has been, that's my own rule, right? It's 4 minutes. You hit record for 4 minutes and that goes up to YouTube. The only thing is, and it's happened about 3 times in total in 4 years, the battery on the GH5, from my own stupidity, I haven't checked it before I've gone live or whatever it is, or before I've hit record. The battery's gone flat midway through that daily vlog, and I've had to then put a second battery in and start it and then piece those two together. So not only are you not getting the exact 4 minute interval, but I'm breaking my own rule by having to edit it together. And in terms of setting a rule and not sticking to it, that kills me. That definitely kills me. Paula Erdby, I don't understand anything about why people watch that guy. PewDiePie, yeah, I don't either. I don't get it. When I went and had a look at his content, I was like, well, if I'm going to be a gamer, I've got to watch the best gamer and learn, right? And I started watching it when he was doing a DLive stream, and I watched for about 40 minutes, and I was like, is this the nature of these streams? These are terrible. What the hell, man? I was like, P-Man, up your game, dude. You're the king of this. You're setting the bar, and this is rubbish. And then I got angry and left. Michael has another question here. Another question. Are you concerned about being beholden to the whims of YouTube? Very, very controversial, very tough question. Long answer, another time. Short answer, absolutely. Yes, I hate that we have, and we've talked about this before, but I hate how, as the content creators on YouTube, we're nothing. We don't have any say in anything. It's all the advertisers that run the show. YouTube will bend over backwards, forwards, sideways, up, down, whatever they need to accommodate the advertisers, and they will then, the next thing is to think about the creators, and then the very last thing is to think about you, the consumers. I hate it. It's the nature of it. All that's going to do is bring other platforms to the rise, such as DLive, and as Mixer is trying to get a hold here and whatnot. There's platforms that are going to do things differently because YouTube has done them so poorly and people don't like it. That, in answer to your question, it concerns me greatly and I don't like it. And that's why that's one of the reasons why I'm on DLive. Not the only reason, but that's definitely one of the reasons why I'm on DLive. So that's Michael's other question. Now, DLE Crystal Gaming from DLive. Thanks for swinging by, dude. Do you like YouTube or DLive more? Well, that's the same kind of question, but I don't want to say one's better than the other because each platform has its own uniqueness and each platform has something to offer. I think DLive right now, if you're going to start any kind of live stream, DLive is definitely the place to do it aside, more than YouTube. If you start on YouTube, first of all, you can't do anything. You can't stream live on mobile anyway on YouTube until you have 1,000 subs. So they've already shut that door. Then you can't monetize it until you get this and this and this. So they've shut that door. They provide no incentive for you guys, the consumers of it. DLive do all those things oppositely. You can monetize straight away. You can stream straight away. You have no worry about AdSense and applying for anything. You're automatically in. It's a no-brainer. In the chit chat, Paula says, okay, random question incoming. Adrian Banks, sorry, I meant TV. I'm out the front of the house playing with the Jayco, listening to this because your show is great, very entertaining. Oh, thanks, Adrian. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you, man. Benny Crawford, what age did you realize you could be a photographer? Good question. I guess I was always shooting photos for skateboarding, so probably when I was aged 11 or 12. But in terms of a career or an income source, that wasn't until 2007 when actually 2004, I did my first ever photo shoot for a magazine, got the cover, unbelievable, first ever shoot was a cover of a magazine, paid job. I'd never even shot a photo like that on a DSLR and got a cover gig. But that's another story. But Paula says, question, if you had to make love to a male National Party MP, which one would it be? What the hell, Paula? If I had to make love to a male Nationals Party MP, well, I don't know who they are to start with, and I haven't had the sex with a man, if you follow. I'm not that way inclined. Nothing against the male-to-male nookie, but that's not my style. But I don't know the dudes, so I don't know how to answer that question, but I appreciate it. Let's have a look back into the other questions. Mike Gleason says, what kind of Jack is your favorite Jack? And that's from Radio Voice Guy from the D Live. Now, I've actually got a bottle of that under my bed. I'll go and get it for you. This is my favorite Jack that I've had thus far in my life. This is 1907. Now, we have opened and reviewed this on the channel before. This is so rad because it is a cheaper bottle of Jack. It's okay, first of all, this is only available in the Australian market, weirdly enough. So if I ever fly internationally and anyone wants this, I will buy and bring some for you. It's only available here in Australia. It's cheaper than Regulation Odd Number 7. It's slightly less ABV, 37%, but it is sweeter. It's mellowed in the cooler sections of the barrel warehouse, so it's a sweeter, lighter, really, really tasty, easy drinking Jack, and that is my favorite Jack. Great question, Michael. Mike, I appreciate you swinging by from the D Live, man. The other question there from Mindy, I'd like to hear your story behind your name. Now, that is a great story. So my name is Benon Julius William Otto Kirpsch. When I was born, now my mother will hate this because she told me this, but then later on in life, she says she didn't. She says this is not how it happened, but she told me this as a child, and I remember it. I hated Benon. I thought that was a ridiculous name. I just want to be regular. Like, why can't I be like everybody else? In fact, don't call me Benon. Call me Ben, right? And by the way, it's spelt Ben-on, but everybody has said Benon my whole life. So I said, as a youngster, I don't want to be Benon. It's too weird. I would want to be like a regular Jack. Call me Ben, right? So for my whole life, I was called Ben. Now, my other name's Julius William Otto Kirpsch. The day I was born in the hospital, my father, I was the last of 3 children. My father said, well, I want him to get my name, Julius, Benon Julius. Then my mum said, well, if he's getting your name, he's getting my father's name as well. So that's William. And then my dad, he's German. My mother's English. My dad said, well, if he's getting your father's name, he's getting my father's name. So I got Benon Julius William Otto and the family name. Now, the Benon part, this is what my mum told me. Her friend Laurel had given birth to a child about a month earlier, and she called him Jason. And mum wanted Ben, but there was a lot of Bens being called Ben or Benjamin in the hospital at the time. And so Laurel and mum had this idea, why don't you take the O and the N off Jason and put it to Ben and get Benon. Now, mum told me that, and then now she says, that's not how it happened at all. We just stumbled upon that. That's not how it happened. It's like, well, I would never have made that up. So someone told me that when I was younger, and that's how I tell the story. Now, people have known me as Benon forever. I'm on the east coast of Australia here, but I've lived all over the world. When I moved to Adelaide, I purposely renamed myself Ben-on. The pronunciation, it's spelt Benon, but it's said Ben-on. So everyone in South Australia knows me as Ben-on, and everybody on the east coast knows me as Benon, or Ben. To the point where anyone comes from Adelaide, comes over here, and they call me Ben-on, my friends here laugh at them like, what the hell's Ben-on? I'm like, that's how you say my name, dude. I reinvented myself in Adelaide. That's how you spell it. That's how you say it. And they're like, you're a dickhead. So I've been known as either Ben-on, or a dickhead my whole life. And I love it. There you go. As you are, Ben-on, thank you. And I want to be something. Like, I don't want to be a Ben or a Benon. I'm Ben-on. You can call me Ben-on, you can call me Gives a Minute, but I'm Ben-on. That's the fact. Elvis Cordero, why did you choose a modern Highline, a large shortboard, as opposed to a Love Child or a Falcon by Modern Surfboards? Now, he's talking about the board that I was riding before I'm on the 7S Superfish. Great question, Elvis. First of all, I didn't actually choose these boards. So I've got a sponsor for my Wave a Day project. It's called Global Surf Industries. They provide me with surfboards. They saw my ability, and I use that term very lightly. They saw my ability and where I was at in terms of surfing and the level. And they said, we think you would be best off on this board from our quiver. This would be what you need now. And what he's referring to is the period of time when I was on the modern Highline, the bigger, fatter, wider, thicker, more buoyant board. Now, obviously, my skill level has progressed further from then, and Global Surf Industries have now said, well, since last Wave a Day, they said you need to step up to a thinner, again, a slightly longer board, oddly enough, thinner, but more rocker and more maneuverable. That's the 7S Superfish, and As I'm sponsored by Global Surf Industries, they are the ones that give me the boards. They say this is where you and by the way, Tom Carroll and Richie Lovett were the ones that kind of guided this decision. So I went out, surfed with these guys, and they said this is the level we think this gentleman's at. This board from the Global Surf Industries range will be perfect. Take that one for the next couple of months or whatever it is. We'll keep watching your abilities, and then we'll pump you up to the next board. So that was never my decision, but great question, Elvis. Let's get back to the chat here. Okay, so what a story. Pretty awesome. You are, as you are, Benon. Thank you. And by the way, this is now right warm temperature, and it is toasty. So I see a lot of people answering the question from Paula about the MP. I also see Northrop MJ in the chit chat. Mindy, how do you do, Mindy? Good to see you back. How you going? Okay, so in the chat, anybody else have any AMA questions? We've got about, 8 more minutes here on this streamy poo. Let's have another question. If anyone's got one, I think I wrapped up all the questions from the givers. Yeah, I pretty much did. Hey, by the way, folks, the reason I haven't had any call-ins at this point, I don't have a laptop. I sold my laptop. As you know, I'm trying to get a higher spec one for the streaming from Steve and IRL stuff. And without a laptop, I don't know. Maybe we could test this next week, but I don't know if I could pull Discord into Wirecast the way I can on DLive. On DLive, I can open up Discord while I'm streaming, and the audio just patches directly into OBS without me doing anything. But I don't think it works that way on Wirecast. Maybe we can try it next week. I don't know. Hey, Mindy. I know you're just here, but have you ever had this? Being an American, have you ever had the Winter Jack? And if you have, what are your thoughts? Just got to St. Louis. Oh, you're on a mission again. You're moving somewhere. Now, what have I missed in the chit chat? Adrian, in regards to the Saturday television, what kind of a show would you envisage I would be able to fit onto? Like, would they need to make a new show for me, or would there be one that already works for me, if you like? I don't watch television, so I don't know. But if you've got one that you think would work for me, let me know what that show is, I guess. Yeah, because I mean, I've always enjoyed the Saturday morning. There's been like Recovery, the music program. I think a music show would definitely work well with me. I'm a vodka drinker, says Mindy. Yeah. See, that's the thing though. This one isn't really a whiskey. I mean, it's whiskey, but it's not really the whiskey. It's not really a huge whiskey in that regard. Like, I mean, it's got Old Number 7 in it, but it's not as in your face as a whiskey as that one, as Regulation Old Number 7. What am I saying? Yeah. But you've never had it, Mindy. Interesting. Okay, so Tim, I want to ask you something. When you said in the YouTube chat, can we really ask you anything? What was the question you really wanted to ask? And you have the permission to ask it, Tim. I'm asking you, what was that question you really wanted to ask? Ask away. There isn't anything in the chat I've missed, is there? I'm just making sure of that. I see that question from Paula. That's a very, very strange question, but I see it there. Michael, it's not a Saturday morning show, but the set is great, and it'd be good to see you pop in on that. The set, okay, maybe we should check that out next time. Paula, it was the most random thing I could ask. Oh, okay. So you were literally hitting the AMA style, like ask a random question right off the bat. Okay, I gotcha. Have you tried Crystal Head Vodka, Mindy? Oh, that's to Mindy. Mindy says, when you come to the States, you won't need to share your whiskey with me. That sounds good. Look, I want to get over there at some point. There is something that I'm working on, but I'm not going to spill the beans until that. A Saturday morning show would need a dressed up character. What are you suggesting, Tim? You saying I'm not dressed up enough? I don't know how to take that. I'm going to give you a cheers, though. Have you tried... Hey, by the way, let's have a look at that show, The Set. If we go over here... I'm going to type this in, The Set. We get out of there. The Set, ABC iView. Okay, The Set. Let's go ABC Programs. Let's have a look at what this is. The Set. Live music has a new home. Oh, it's a live music show. Okay. So it's almost like Recovery in a sense. Okay, cool. It's the house party presented by Triple J's. It's Triple J related. I don't. By the way, if you did see my J Files D Live special, I actually reached out to Richard Kingsmill on Twitter, and I'm thinking about doing a J Files on Ween 20th anniversary style. And I reached out to Richard Kingsmill because he'd have to be a part of that. And he saw the tweet, the DM on Twitter, and he didn't answer. So. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to persist with that, or it sucks when you reach out, when you slide into someone's DMs on Twitter and then they see, and it's a genuine question. It's not me being a fanboy or anything. I just said I'm thinking about doing this 20-year anniversary of the J-Files on Ween. I'm the guy that inspired you to do it back in the day. I'd love to have you on for an interview. We've got about a year to get this together. Can I contact you? Can we set up a Discord interview? Message read a week ago, no reply, so bit of a shame. Tim, Benon, I didn't ask that question. I can't even see any reference to it in this chat. Tim, where is your comment? Is here, I think. That's Michael's comment. Crystal Gaming, Mike Gleason, Mindy's, must be up here. Tim, right there, man. Tim, were you drinking when you put that in the... Were you drinking when you put that in the YouTube machine there? Because it's right there. Oh, Penon, like an Aussie ostrich, but a little bit more colourful in behaviour. Oh, okay. Who do you think would fit that bill? I can't think of anybody here on YouTube that would fit that bill. Mindy says mostly these days I smoke a doobie instead of drinking. Remember that D-Live conversation where we had about that? That was funny, Mindy. Mindy, grr, you're smoking trees now. Smoking trees? She's been smoking the jazz cigarettes for quite some time here. Yeah, Tim, I feel like maybe you asked that question whilst on the side of inebriation, if you don't recall it. Sort of like the aggro on YouTube outtakes. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Mindy, the D-Live has been fun, hasn't it? I got to say, like, and from what we understand, Charles has a lot coming to that platform. He was alluding to things that are coming, and I'm very, very excited to be there. Very excited to be a part of it. Very excited to have all of you guys along for the ride. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a link in the chat right now for my D-Live experience. I can hear my outro music rolling. Thanks for a great stream. Next week on the YouTube, there'll be a fresh bottle of Jack. I'll see you all then. Woo! Winter Jack. Oh, that's we're out of time.